This is a weird episode.
It is.
It's a combination.
Dual purpose.
It's a KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. Taco Hut.
I really like those because I can get like mashed potatoes and tacos and also a pizza.
That's a whole meal.
It is a whole meal.
That's a whole dang meal.
That's what people are going to get here too. It's a whole dang meal.
Wow.
It's true.
You're so excited you're cursing right in the first minute.
Whoops.
Hello?
Hello.
Welcome to this podcast where you're going to be hearing it in different locations depending on where you're hearing it. It's going to make sense in a little bit. This is episode number 126 of the Seasonal Checkup OVA, or this is episode 27 of Jared and Al Watch Love Live Sunshine. Either or.
One or the other.
Because this is going to go up in both.
Thing.
Yeah, this is going to go up in both podcast feeds.
Noise.
So if you listen to it at one, you're not going to get anything different in the other. It's going to be the same. That's just
same content.
That's just the way it is. Hello, I am Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladyem.
Hello.
And we are here to give our finale to Jared and Al Watch Love Live Sunshine here on the Seasonal Checkup OVA.
Mm-hmm. It finally happened.
We finally actually get to complete one of these.
Yay!
I was very curious to see which was going to happen first. Either we were going to complete K-On! First, or the Sunshine movie was going to come out in time for us to finish that up. Sailor Moon movies, no.
No.
Those are our pipe dream at this point. Those are like, you know when a video game gets announced and then like...
Vaporware.
Yeah, it's vaporware at this point. For shame. But yeah, we are here to talk about Love Live Sunshine, the school idol movie Over the Rainbow. It's a mouthful of words, but as what we're here to talk about today, and we figured with the way that it's going, with the way we want to talk about this movie, just why not make it a SAC OVA episode as well to give us something to talk about this week, because it's a big thing and we would definitely want to talk about it. And, obviously it was going to be a Jared and Al Watch episode anyways, because that was going to be the finale episode for that podcast. So here we are.
Also, we just always want to talk about Love Live Sunshine.
That's really true.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we need to give a little bit more context since the last time we've done a Jared and Al Watch Love Live Sunshine.
Okay.
Because I feel like your fandom grew immensely. I don't remember when we actually recorded that finale episode, because it went up in late November, but I'm sure we watched it like way earlier.
I was still living in Virginia at that point. So I think it was either June or July, maybe.
Was it really that far back?
Maybe.
Holy crap.
I mean, I moved out of Virginia in July.
You did? Yeah.
So it had to have been.
Wow. So I guess in all technicality, it's been like 10 months since we last talked about Love Live Sunshine.
It's become a thing.
Yes. Back then you were, you liked the show. You were a fan of the show. You kind of knew who the characters were.
I mean, I loved Ruby already.
You had a vague idea of everyone and a good idea of a few.
Yes.
You weren't really that aware of the voice actresses.
No,
you were kind of, but not
any
really.
Of them were.
You weren't.
Clarification: the Japanese voice actresses.
Yes, you were not into School Idol Festival.
No,
but you may have been by the end of it. I don't remember. But
I would have been just starting right.
But okay, 10 months later, what would you say your reaction to Love Live Sunshine is?
So how do I even describe this? I have like a ton of figurines now. I have bought a signed picture from who is the voice actress from Ruby, and it is framed on my wall. I'm level 172 in Skull Idol Festival. I currently have the summer uniform for the first years as a cosplay. I have also set up so that I can cosplay as Zoromaru with that same skirt. Um, and I have a Jumping Heart Ruby cosplay coming. It's Oh, I also have like holiday themed or seasonal themed Ruby wallpapers on my phone now,
You
and
do.
I have a Love Live Sunshine phone case.
Hmm.
Um, it's a thing.
We have watched together multiple lives now.
Oh yeah, I've watched several lives. I have two of the movie promo posters framed in my living room.
Hmm.
Um, I have on the whiteboard in my office here. It says "Do your bestie always." I have a Ruby figurine at my work. I have another movie poster up at work. I have um, a picture of Ruby saying "Do your bestie, everyone," and flexing on them in my office. I have another one. It's Ruby that somebody photoshopped in to say really nice things about me. Not me specifically, but it makes me feel happy anyway. Um, so yeah, like I am a huge fan of the voice actresses now and like pay attention to who they are and what they're doing and have a big dumb crush on one of them because she's stupidly talented and stupidly adorable.
Like our Christmas gifts to each other last year were literally just Love Live Sunshine focused.
Yep. Which we did the year before with Sailor Moon, which is
Hmm.
kind of funny. But yeah, this year it was all Love Live, and like my my keys now. I always find my keys because I have the ruby keychain that you got me.
Hmm.
It's the only way I ever find my keys now. Is there's a big ruby, and I have a ruby on my purse.
So suffice to say, we are in deep.
And we're in very
Like
deep. I'm not looking forward to them disbanding.
like I was in kind of deep by the end of that podcast, but like you getting in like super deep got me in also like even deeper. So
I go hard when I get into
I
things,
dragged
man.
you in, and then you just dragged me in further.
I was like, all right, well, if I'm going down, you're going down with. Put on your floaties, man.
So obviously this leads to the here and now, where we have watched the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we gave I think a brief preview of the film when we did the finale episode, because there was like some information that was kind of starting to sprinkle out. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
the first kind of like character images of like of them and like it being in Italy was like out there, and like the title of the movie was out there. So like there was bits and pieces of information that was out. Like obviously I don't think there was any trailers at that point, but so we kind of like gave a brief little bit of like what we thought the movie was going to be, but we're here and this is the here and now. We can talk about this movie now,
We can.
which I guess we should say up front. We are going to discuss the movie in full.
Spoilers.
If you have not watched it, and chances are you probably haven't because of the way the distribution of this film has been, you probably don't want to listen to this if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it. If you don't care, then whatevs. But we will be discussing spoilers in full and everything and all that sort of stuff. So
Oh, that's another thing. I pre-ordered like the limited edition of this movie,
mm-hmm.
and I pre-ordered, and it actually should be coming any day now. I have a ruby keychain that matches a Leah keychain from Awaken the Power, and then I have the shirt coming. So it's a thing.
It is a
If
thing.
if somebody can find the Gamba Ruby shirt in a small, hit me up. Let me know. I need it.
So so this is your spoiler warning. Get out while you still can.
Unless you want to be spoiled. In
Unless
which
you want to be
case,
spoiled, then hello,
hello.
welcome. Join us on this wild, wild ride. Um,
I love Love Light Sunshine.
I feel like there was kind of part of me going into this film that was a bit worried, just
Mm-hmm.
because season 2 ends so well,
It's ended so well.
and going back to that well can be either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I was just like, I don't want them to ruin it. I don't think they will ruin it per se, but I don't want them to kind of like mess things up to where it kind of falls backwards and makes the ending of the actual TV series look worse than it was,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think they do here.
No.
It's interesting because I think this movie is essentially different from the TV series. Or the TV series is a story about battling back through failure, rising up, and really kind of figuring out who you are while you go through like the lowest of lows and come out of it at the highest of highs. Where this is like, okay, you've experienced the highest of highs. Now what? What do you do
Mm-hmm.
with that? What do you do with that when a third of your group is gone? And for other characters, it's like, okay, you're a year older now, you're a year maturer now. How do you step up into a new role? How do you grow as a person? How do you make sure you are better than you were before in order to help this group overall? And then for other characters, it's like, how do you literally start from the beginning and try and figure things out? So I guess like in a way, like the TV series is more about like battling through hardships and being, and it's a very sad
Mm-hmm.
series for like, it's very emotional and everything, while this is more of a story of growth,
Right.
which I feel like is it works very well for the series. Like if this was another just like, oh, we're going to be super duper emotional and have like just manufacture some like conflict to make them go through again, like I don't think it would have been as good.
I agree with you on that.
Which they kind of do manufacture a few conflicts in this film, which
But they end very quickly.
they kind of resolve them very quickly, which I think is more of a factor of that it's a movie and you
Mm-hmm.
have only a certain amount of time to go through. Like if this was like a half season of a TV show, like maybe those conflicts would have lasted a little bit longer
Mm-hmm.
and could have gotten fleshed out a bit more. But with the way this movie is kind of like split into thirds, like it's a 3-act film. Um, they kind of had to like present conflicts resolved. Okay, what do we learn from that? Very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because we only spend like 20 minutes, I think, in Italy.
Yeah, it's only like a third of the film.
Yeah. Which is funny because all the promos were like, we're in
Yep.
Italy.
And it's like, oh, we're kind of there for a cup of coffee and some Italian food, a
I'll
pizza.
say Zura eats lots of food.
She does eat a lot of food. So essentially, the film begins with kind of like a redux of the ending of season 2, where basically
Mm-hmm.
they just change up the song,
Yes.
where it's everyone gathered at the school and they do this whole song routine, and instead of doing wonderful stories like they do in season 2, they do the new song. Which one is it? Let me click on this link and get the full title.
I feel like it's kind of like a continuation. They did wonderful stories. They're like, hey, we should just do this song too.
Sure, they could have. That could easily be it. They performed Bokura no Hash. Oh boy, Hashitikita Hashitikita Michiwa.
Neat song with neat jackets.
It basically starts the film like it's a musical,
Yes.
and it's
Because
real
they're
good.
like, we're talking, now we're singing. I really like it.
It's really funny.
I love those jackets and I really
Mm-hmm.
want one.
I,
I really want one.
I also like how like essentially they could just make that into a tourism film for like Numazu.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Because it's
Because
just
it's
them like
like,
going through place to place to place. Like,
look at all these
hey,
places. Isn't this place neat?
it's
Look at
hilarious.
this. We have this shop, we have this shop, and we have this shop.
It's really good. And that's kind of how they opened the film. They also opened the film before that with like a scene where Chica and Yo are kids on the beach
Yes.
flying a paper airplane. There's a kid, Rico, who's standing there, a big
Hmm.
hat.
I didn't realize that's who it was at first.
Here's this new character we're introducing.
Well, she just looked taller than everybody.
Maybe Rico
It
was
was
a
the
tall kid.
angle. I think it was just the angle
Yeah.
that they had her at, but it makes sense that she was there, but they're like, "Who are you? Thanks for the encouragement. I'm gonna throw this paper airplane now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do the whole song and dance routine, literally.
Yep.
And then basically the movie opens proper, where we're presented with our first essential conflict, and that is figuring out what the new Aqua is, which is now the 6-person unit of Chica, Yo, Rico, Hanamaru, Ruby, and Yoshiko, because the
Johanna.
third years are gone.
Yep, they graduated.
Literally, they are gone.
Yeah, they left.
They noped out.
Graduation trip.
So it's basically everyone trying to figure out, okay, how do we go from here, essentially, and also them dealing with the whole unification of their schools. So they're trying to figure out where they're going to practice, because they don't have a place to practice anymore because their school's closed down and they can't use the studio anymore. So they decide to like go and check out the new school, and it's basically a dump.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like they say it has like one room and it's very, very small and it's really worn down. It looks like it was probably like an old like traditional school, like turn of the century.
I think they call it, like, there's like a sign out front that calls it like a branch school, so it's like a subsidiary of the actual school they're supposed to be going to. Ruby,
yeah, because Ruby freaks out when she sees the branch part.
Ruby imagines like her in her senior year going to class, and it's just like she looks into the window and it's just like the entire classroom just packed with everybody from the school in there, and she just freaks out.
Well, and Johanne says something that's really funny. That's not welcome to the zone, but something like welcome to the inferno or something like that. It's funny. And they all have like the crazy like face right up in the camera type thing.
So they're all like freaking out about that. They go and eat, and they're hanging out with Chica's friends from the second year class.
Yep.
Those three. And they're kind of talking about like, okay, why is this? Why are we getting segregated into this other school? Like, we're supposed to be like being integrated into this other school and combining and all that sort of stuff. And they kind of like learn that like apparently people just didn't like it, and they just like kicked them out to this other school for some reason.
Yeah, they talk about this more after they realize like, oh, Yo is missing. Where is Yo? Introduce a new conflict.
We go on a wild goose chase to find Yo, and she is seen talking with a new character that we have never seen before in a hat, and everyone's like, who is that? Is that a boy?
And like Johanne, every single time that they're about to get caught, meows.
Yes. There's one point where like they're like, it's the 6 of them or 5 of them like split up, and like Chica's hiding behind a sign, and then Johanne is just laying down on the ground behind her to just blend in more. It keeps escalating and escalating to where it's just very ridiculous, and Yo's clearly catching on. It's
so funny.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But they get caught.
They eventually get caught because Johanne's like, oh, whew, she didn't see us that time. We're in the good. And she turns around, and Yo's just like staring her straight in the face, and she's like, just like pulls this like statue thing back up to her face, like, the number you have dialed is not available.
That part was so funny.
And Yo's just like, what are you guys doing? Why are you following me like this? Like, what is your deal?
And they're like, but you're with a boy. And then like that conflict is very easily erased because said boy takes their hat off and is a girl and also Yo's cousin.
It is indeed Yo's cousin.
Who goes to their new school.
Very convenient.
Yes.
I think her name's Suki.
She tries to steal the Yosero line a few times.
Yes.
And Yo's like not having it.
Like, what are you doing?
That's my line.
But she's very much like Yo.
Yes. Just with black hair.
Yes. So Suki kind of gives them the rundown of like why this whole thing's happening, and apparently it's like the school very much like enjoys their clubs, and they don't want to integrate like new clubs into the school, and like the students and teachers are very much adamant against this happening. Like all their clubs are on national levels, we can't do this. And then it's like, but they just won Love Live, which is a national competition.
Just won a national Love Live.
So they there's some thing happening at the new school, so they get the idea of like, okay, let's go perform and show them like what Arena Hoshi is made of, and all of us, and why this is such a weird and bad idea. And so we go to that, and it is their first performance as a 6-person unit since like season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where, if you remember back then, if you have listened to our episodes or watched the series before, the last time they performed as a 6-person unit, this specific 6-person unit, was when they got the infamous 0 votes in the Tokyo performance that they did, when they met Saint Snow for the first time. So it's the first time they were performing like that since then, and you can tell pretty early on that like they're feeling off about it. Like they're not as confident as they were, coming off winning Love Live and everything. Which, granted, like, there's going to be some amounts of pressure there where you're like, hey, here's the defending Love Live champions coming out, and
minus 3 members.
They're not at full strength, but it's the defending Love Live champions, and
and then they do the thing that always bothers me in Love Live Sunshine, and then they're like, hey, we're going to do this performance. And then it cuts to them. They're like, man, we really messed that up, didn't we? I'm like, oh.
So, yeah, things don't go well.
No.
And they're trying to figure out exactly, like, why things didn't go well.
Yeah.
It's very puzzling to them. They're trying to... They really need to... Basically, after this, it becomes like, okay, what is this new version of Aqua's identity? Like, what makes this group different from the original group, and how are we going to be able to channel what we did before into this new version of it? And that's what we have to figure out. Which is interesting because, like, I've read some people's, like, thoughts on the movie, and, like, some people have been, like, critical of, like, oh, Chica doesn't do anything in this movie. She just, like, kind of stays the same. She doesn't experience any growth. And it's like, I don't necessarily think that's an accurate criticism for this film.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because, like, she has the huge amount of growth in the entire series that, like, adding on to that really wouldn't do any favors. And it's not like she's, like, baffled by this entire concept. Like, the entire time she's like, okay, I need to figure this out, but I'm really unsure of it because I've never really had to experience this before. So, like, that's, like, her dilemma is just like, okay, how do we fix this?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think, like, that's a knock against her. Like, you're not really going to see much growth from her. Like, it makes sense, like, why some of the other characters experience growth than her. But regardless, they basically get back to... essentially, they kind of, like, try and, like, go back to square one. Like, okay, what makes us good? How do we go off of that? And how do we make that so that, what happened before where we kind of messed up our performance doesn't happen again? So they go to the beach to train and practice, and we get, like, a brief little history lesson about how the second years were here before. And, like, the last time they did this was when they found the name Aqua written in the sand by a certain student council president. And essentially they're just like, okay, well, we're back here again. Let's try and hash this out. Oh, by the way, Saint Snow's here.
Yep.
We called them over.
So they were called to, like, I guess critique them, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
Like, because they trust them at this point.
Leah's like, I can't believe you called us here on my sister's graduation trip. How dare you? So they give a performance, and literally they're like, yeah, you guys suck. What are you doing? This is bad. And then Leah gets a little upset, and we get the infamous Love Live isn't a game, because she's also kind of going through a rough bit where if you remember from the series, Sarah has graduated, so she basically is without any partner.
Without a
So
partner.
Saint Snow is done skis, and she is trying to figure out a way to make her own group, and is having problems with
A
that.
very hard time
Yeah,
with that.
like she runs off
'Cause-
by herself, and like Ruby tries to go after her, but like can't really comfort her in a way
yeah.
because like the way their problems are is not really like the way that they can understand them at this point. And then a helicopter shows up. Because as you do, when you're on the beach, helicopters show up.
In Love Live Sunshine, yes.
That is totally a thing that happens in this series.
Mm-hmm.
So that happens. They think it's Mari because obviously the first years or the second years, or I guess technically the third years now would have had this happen to them before.
Yep.
But instead it is Mari's mom,
Mm-hmm.
who acts
Mari's mother, Des.
who acts a lot like her daughter.
Yep. Well, at this point, she does.
That's true. So Mari's mom brings them to some undisclosed location. She brings the sixth of Aqua. She brings Saint Snow, and she brings Yo's cousin along.
Yep.
They're all just there.
Just there.
And Mari's mom basically lays out this plan that, hey, the third years have gone missing.
Yep.
I don't know where they
Not
are.
finding them.
Can you go help me find them? They're in Italy.
Which she says that is the home of like Mari's family, their ancestral home. And like I don't know what they're trying to do with that, but like Mari's last name is definitely of Irish origin.
Eh.
I mean, I guess it could be a thing that like my last name is also of Irish origin and I live in the States,
Yeah.
but like a lot of Irish people didn't go to Italy.
This is the rare exception, I guess.
I guess so. So yeah, she's like they're in Italy. Also, I'm gonna drop down a bunch of money on you in order to convince you to go help me. And then Zuramaru starts eating the money, and they realize that it's chocolate.
The Yohane eyes will find them.
Yep.
She also calls Kanan and Daya, like, she calls Kanan Hugu, which took me a bit,
Hugu.
and I was like, oh, right, it's Hug. And then she
Yep.
calls Daya Deswa, I guess,
Desuwa.
which would be the Boo Boo Deswa, which is
Yep.
really good.
It's really
It's
funny.
really good.
On the missing posters, they look like a mess.
They look like shadowy people.
Like Mari looks all like pretty and like she's kind of like helpless looking,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're shadow people, dark eyes and things.
So that becomes our next conflict, is finding the third years and finding out what's going on. Which brings us to Italy.
Zuramaru wants to eat all the food
She
and
is
also
so
hates
excited.
all the steps
She wants all of the food.
and
Buongiorno.
less stairs. Less stairs.
So the sixth person of Aqua go to Italy. They bring Yo's cousin along because Yo's cousin had been to Italy before and was going to be their
Apparently,
tour
yeah,
guide.
she just hung out in Italy for a while.
Like, okay.
That's convenient too.
And the only thing they have to go on is a picture
Yes.
that they got sent. And it's like a picture of the canals. And then they go to that picture of the canals and somehow they're able to find him.
Yep.
They go to like the top of this building, and like you said, like everyone gets up there, and then Zuramaru comes like 5 minutes later. Is like,
And Ruby, when she sees Daya, is like, ah! And just like runs at her.
Mhm. So they find the third years, and they're like, "Hey, hello, what are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, well, your mom came to said we need to come find you," and she's like, "Oh, about that." That's not good. Look, she thinks we're kind of like missing, but not really. We're just kind of doing our own thing right now. And then she put a bunch of posters up around Italy, and now people are like, out looking for us. Like, we kind of don't need that kind of heat on us, so gotta go. Bye.
She like apologizes to Yo and then like throws a costume over the edge, and then Yo and Yo's cousin both jump over like trying to get it, and they're like all holding onto their ankles like, oh god, they're gonna kill themselves. And it turns out they left a note for them in the costume with a riddle.
And a picture of Mari.
That too.
They have to go to like the
The realm of
realm of
Yohane.
Yohane, which is of course any place where fallen angel could be.
Yep.
So basically, we get split up again. And I think this is when we kind of see like the third years off on their own, and they're feeling a little like down. They had to like split up, but also that they kind of had to. And also like Mari's explaining how she just gave her mom the slip by like going to this other place that her mom wouldn't expect.
Yeah, they're like, so is this one of the ancestral homes? And she's like, yeah, I think we have one nearby, but no, this is my friend's. I'm borrowing it.
I think also this time
As you do.
I think this is also the time we get our next musical performance.
Yes, with the third years, you get the crazy, pretty dance.
The third years perform a Toso Meso Mobius Loop.
Yep.
Dancing all throughout Italy.
With super pretty dresses.
And then after that, the first and second years are like, all right, we got to find them. Let's figure this out. We're eating lunch or whatever, and then they realize Yohane has gone missing. And
like none of the tables in any of the restaurants throughout this entire movie are big enough to accommodate all of them.
There's a lot of people.
It's really annoying. They're all like
there's 7 people at that point, and then once they get to the third years again, there's like 10. So no big tables. Yeah. I really like in this point where like when they realize Yohane's gone, like Zuramaru's like Yoshiko, Yohane. Like, oh, she'll hear this and come.
Yep. She's so funny.
But it doesn't work, so they have to go out and find old Yohane, and they find this one building, which obviously there's a lot of Italian landmarks that are in this that I don't know because that's just me. But they find this one, they're like, oh look, it's a big building, and then Yohane shows up
with white wings. It's a Duomo, right? Isn't that the name of it?
Yes.
Duomo.
Something like that.
It's a cathedral.
The dome.
It's a cathedral.
Yeah. She explains to them that she's procured tickets to go open this dome and done all this stuff, and they're like, why did you leave us? What were you doing? We were worried about you. I believe also this at some point she makes mention of her little demon Lily. Mm-hmm. And Rico's like, you're not supposed to call me that. So they go open this dome and like are like, oh, this is a great view, and then they find like this little light. It's like, that's the third years. And it's like a ways away, and they're able to get there like within the same day.
Yep.
So kudos to them. They did either a lot of walking or they got like some really good public transport.
I'm not sure which one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Who knows?
Who knows? It's not explained.
So the third years are there, and someone, I think Chica's like yelling at the house, and then like you see the third years up top, and they're like, "Shh! Why are you yelling?
Yep.
Chill out." So they get invited in, and basically the third year's got some explaining to do. Because, like, why did you guys just leave us? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Something's up. And Mari is, like, trying to be, like, all hush-hush. Like, she's like, I don't know. And then Conan's like, yeah, she's getting married.
Yep.
Conan's just, like, drinking tea. He's like, let me just sip this tea, spill some tea for you. Here you go. Mari's like, what? Dude, what are you doing? And Conan's like, I had to know eventually. So essentially the gist is that like Mari is being forced into an arranged marriage, and she's like wants no part of it, and she's kind of been upset with the way like her mom's been trying to dictate her life over the past couple of years, and has basically been trying to get away from that, and basically this graduation trip has been a way for her to get away and trying to like just get out of this whole mess and essentially have like freedom at least.
Mm-hmm.
and like not have to think about any of that stuff. So that's why they've been missing. And when they heard that like Mari's mom had kind of sent the others to go after them, they were like, "Oh, this is bad. We gotta go," because they don't want her mom to find him. They are not happy with the circumstances. Um, Eventually Johanne's just hanging out on like a balcony on like the railing and falls into a tree. And then
Mm-hmm.
Mari's mom shows up on a motorcycle and finds the
And finds
feather.
a
And
feather.
is like, aha, they are here. It like busts down into the house and is like, haha, I found you. You are my child.
And then they have this argument about what Mari is going to be and what she wants to be, and like that school idols are not lame, mom. And
Well, like her mom comes in and is just like upset because of the fact that like they had the third years had left and everything.
yep.
And basically with the way Mari's been kind of like trying to get out of like her responsibilities, she blames Aqua for not letting Mari graduate overseas and having her come back and be a director. She thinks like the whole school idol thing's a joke and a waste of time, which that leaves everyone just Chica's about to literally like jump and fight her.
Which is the second time that Chica's wanted to fight Mari's parent.
Which is so good.
It's so good.
Like she like Mari's mom says that about school idols, and like you just the camera is like cans to Chica, and Chica's like, excuse me, and like Daya's like luckily right there, and it's like nope, 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 no. And there's like a great shot as well where like it shows like the third years like looking like it's like a back view of Mari's mom, and like the third years are like facing the camera, and like there's like angry scowls on their face, and then like the rest of them like move in frame as well, and like they're all like angry as well. Like they are all ready to throw down. So they give Mari's mom an ultimatum of like, hey, we will put on a performance here, and if you are not like impressed by it or amazed by it or even think it's good or whatever, Mari will go off and do whatever you want her to do. If you are impressed by it, let Mari have her freedom. And her mom agrees.
Yep.
It's like, okay, let's do this. But that leaves another problem where they're like, okay, so we're gonna do this, right? We need to figure out exactly what to do. And I think this is the first point where we're like Ruby steps up and is like, all right,
I got this.
we've got this. Yeah.
Yeah, she basically says like the first years want to be able to handle this because, you know, we're capable now and we want to prove our worth. So Ruby is the one who steps up and is like, all right, we're doing this.
We can't constantly be relying on the older characters to do everything for us. We have to step up and prove our worth.
Which, by the way, I think that there are two characters in this movie who get like the best growth. And one is Ruby. The other, I would say, is Leah.
Yeah, totally. Like if you're a Ruby fan, this is the movie for you.
I agree as a Ruby fan.
So that leads to like the next day, I think, and they meet on these steps and they're like, oh, this is where we're gonna do a performance. Dio's cousin has like a camera. She's gonna film the whole thing. They get a bunch of people here, and this is where they perform Hop Stop Nonstop, which if you've seen any of the trailers, you have seen this scene.
You've seen this scene with all the people just like staring at these Japanese girls performing on stairs, not understanding what they're saying. It's pretty great.
My favorite thing about this film is that like anytime you see like background characters, especially in like the Italy scenes, they are drawn less anime like.
Yep.
And more like normalized.
Yep.
Foreigners.
Foreigners. They're not anime.
So there is that. But yeah, like the performance goes off really well because it's all 9 of them back at full strength. They're able to knock it out of the park, and Mari's mom's like, "Yep, that was cool. All right, do your thing. Later." And that literally just ends that part of the arc.
Yep. She's
That's
like,
it.
all right, I guess school idol's so rad. Cool, bye.
I think after that though is like when they all had kind of like they go to dinner, and Chica is finally able to have like the conversation with the third years about like, okay, I don't know how to take this new version of Aqua to the next step, and I have to figure that out. And I just wanted to get your guys' advice on this.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has that conversation with Mari and Kanan, because Daya and Ruby are off kind of doing their own thing, bonding, being sisters. And the third years are basically just like, hey, this is a thing you have to figure out yourself. Like, we necessarily don't have the answer for you. You're gonna have to figure that answer out on your own. And like the third years, I kind of figured like something was up, because they wouldn't have just come rushing just to come find them. Like, they had this sinking suspicion that like something had happened, and they also needed advice as well to come here. So they finally get that answer to that, and it's basically just like, hey, you are capable of figuring this out. We believe in you. We know that you will be able to lead this new version of Aqua to whatever you want it to be.
Also, worth mentioning, because I forgot to earlier, when they were getting critiqued by Saint Snow, one of the things that they mentioned was like, "You're lacking Mari's voice," and I'm like, "Yeah."
It's Kanan's dancing, Mari's voice, and Daya's elegance.
Elegance. So funny.
But yeah, like it really is like the third year is kind of like giving their seal of approval to Chica. Like, we believe in you. Like,
you can do this. You don't need us.
Exactly. You don't necessarily need us to go forward. Like, you have all the confidence in the world. We know that. Mm-hmm. And you will figure this out. We believe in you. We believe in your ability to figure this out.
I also believe in Chica.
I mean, if you don't believe in Chica, you're an enemy of the state.
It's true. Chica basically like means more to me than religion at this point. And that's, religion doesn't mean anything to me, but Chica means the world.
There's also a scene where, like, when all that's happening, like, Daya is about to, like, dry Ruby's hair, and Ruby's like, no, I can dry my own hair.
Mm-hmm. That was cute.
I know how to do things.
I can do things on my own.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's basically kind of, like, the end of the Italy arc, and then the back half, or back third of the film is essentially them coming back to Japan and trying to finally put everything together. Figure it all out. And essentially this involves them kind of like rebuilding or like kind of like just cleaning up the school, redoing it all. Their classmates have like, all right, we're gonna build a stage for you so you can do a cool performance.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do all that. Yo's cousin like kind of facilitates like a bond between the two schools. Like, she brings over some people to come help out and do all that stuff and get them kind of like connected in a way. I think they also call her the student council president at one point, and it goes very unnoticed.
Yep.
Like, it's kind of a throwaway line, but yeah, that's the thing. Yohane finds some fans of hers.
Oh, that's so funny. They apparently went to middle school with her.
She sees them when they go scope out the school for the first time, and she's like, "Oh God, I went to school with them. Oh God." Zeromar's like, "Yeah, she went. They were in middle school together with her," and everyone's like, "Oh, okay. Why are you freaking out?" So they recognize her here when they go back to the school building. They're trying to like clean it up and everything. They're like, "Are you Yohane?" And she's like, It's like, "Oh, we went to middle school together. We watched all of your live streams," and she's just like, thanks.
They're huge fans. Can we get a picture?
She like runs out, and then Rico's like, "Well, someone's there for you, and you're gonna let them run. You're gonna run away from them? No." And then she tries to run the other way, and Zeromaru's like, "No."
No.
And Zeromaru's like, "Oh, Yohane wants to get a picture with them."
So they all do the Yohane pose. It's so great.
It's so good. So yeah, they the schools are bonding now. They have people who are going to take care of things for them while they go practice and get ready for their big performance. And
I love how basically like the ones that are on their side, there's like 4 at this point.
Yeah. So that leads to a different conundrum that comes up. Mm-hmm. We've obviously heard about Leah's issues trying to get her school idol club going. We've seen some like kind of brief bits here and there of like cuts to like
her text.
Yeah, Sarah like trying to look in on her, and like you see like the text where like the other members are like, "Oh, this is so hard. I don't know if I can do it." And then like eventually it comes to like, "Oh, well, we're leaving the club."
Yeah.
And like Leah is devastated by this. Like she
Yeah,
doesn't know what to do. She thinks she is like completely destroying Sarah's dream of like winning Love Live. Like she thinks she's like ruining all of that, and she is like crumbling under all of this immense pressure to like live up to the standards that Saint Snow had.
I was like near tears at one point because they had this scene where Leah was like in bed with like the blankets over her head and like is very clearly upset, and like she has thrown her phone over with rejections, and so like Sarah comes in and sees that and like sees the rejections, and I was like, oh, it's so sad.
So Aqua goes to a meeting at like one of the like family restaurants I think they've been to before in the series, and I don't remember who brings it up.
I don't know, but one of them brings up
It might have been the
Leah.
third year,
I think it's
because
the
the third
third
years are
year.
there, and they're like, so there's a possibility Leah might come and join Aqua. And
Yep.
everyone's like, what? Like, she's going to transfer here? And they're like, yep.
Yep. If she can do her paperwork soon, she can get
Yeah.
in.
Like, Sarah had basically brought up the idea, and, like, to I think the third years or someone, and, like, was like, what do you guys think of this? And they're like, hey, maybe that's a good idea for her.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone kind of has, like, this big discussion about it, and they're kind of, like, into the idea at first, but, like, as they talk about it more, they're like, I don't know.
And Ruby's one of the ones that actually is like, Ruby and Leah are like BFF at this point. And I think at one point Ruby like brings up like, is that really what she needs?
Yeah. Johanny is more concerned about her just like yelling at her,
Yeah.
telling her Love Life isn't a game.
Yep. Love Life isn't a game, Akihiko.
But yeah, Ruby is the one who's like, I don't think this would help her. Like,
Yeah.
if we just put her in here, like, A, it could mess up our entire dynamic. Like, that could be a problem. And B, I don't think this is ultimately going to be the thing that she wants to do. Like, she wants to make her own thing. Joining us is going to be essentially a consolation prize. She wants to form her own identity, her own group, and make her own mark in this. And joining us is not going to do that at all for any of those things that she wants to do. And yeah, Ruby's the one who's like just all out about this, and everyone's like, yeah, you're right.
Like, dang, Ruby.
You're right. So basically after that, like it kind of becomes a thing of like, well, if she can't come and like necessarily join us, let's try and figure out a way to help her as well. But also the rest of Aqua kind of go on a trip to the old school.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about like, oh, there's no like bus stop there anymore because like no one would need it. And they go kind of like check things out there.
The door is open.
The gate is open again. They kind of have a standing outside, which I think that someone said like this part is like a shot for shot recreation of the first PV.
Oh, huh.
Because like there's also another shot later on, like in a little bit, where it's like it's a shot for shot recreation of the ending, the first season ending.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, the gist of this whole thing is that like we can kind of move on from the school now. Like we have all of our memories of it, but that doesn't mean like they'll just go away. Like they'll always be a part of us, just like how the third years are always going to be a part of us, even if they are away. Like we don't necessarily need them always to be here with us. We can keep going. We can grow, even if they're not here.
One thing that I don't know if we mentioned, because I'm kind of brain dead, but I do want to mention is we do finally get to see more of like what happened with Saint Snow at that performance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which was good for me. Because I get really annoyed when they're like, man, this thing went terribly, but then they don't show it. And so this one, they didn't really show it. They showed more like shots of it.
Yeah.
And like that's interspersed with like Leah talking about how like she ruined everything and all that.
Because you get that scene where like they're both kind of like embracing each other, and like you hear people being like, oh man, I can't believe Saint Snow's out. They were like a favorites to win this. Like that's surprising. And like Leah notices like Sarah's crying, and like that's the thing that really
Yep.
breaks her. Is like, oh God, I ruined this for her.
Yep.
Um,
That was also an emotional
yeah.
moment.
Hoof, buddy.
That one hurt. There were a few times, and I mean, I guess you know this because we were like on voice chat when it was happening. But there were a few times I was like, "Do not cry, do not cry." I also like sympathy cry when I see people cry, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
So anyway, I just had to bring that up.
Yeah. So Chica closes the gate of the school, even though it's open. Like she's
Yes,
like, we don't need to go back in there. It's fine. We have our
I
memories of
thought
that
she was gonna
place.
break and enter, and she didn't.
I feel
She
like that
was.
kind of would have been reductive if they would like went in and like explored the school again. Like I kind of like I liked how she was just like,
I like that
no,
she
we're
did it
good.
too. We don't need this anymore.
Yeah,
I appreciated that honestly. And like, if you're not if people want to talk about like Chica growth, that's Chica growth
yeah.
right there.
Because compared to the season finale or the series finale, you should say, like where she goes in and re-explores everything, like she's like, no, we're good. We don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that takes them to the beach where they all like they stand in a line, and that's like the same shot as the season 1 ending where they do the same thing, and then they do that, and then basically I think after that is when we get ready for a bunch of big performances. 30,000 performances happen in a row. We get some shots of like Leah being up real early, trying like just training, keep in shape and everything, and like going through everything in her head about how she thinks everything's like failed because of her and everything, and she sees like a flyer on the wall and like starts to break down and runs and cries at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She stops in front of like a building. I'm guessing it was like their school, maybe. I don't know.
That was weird.
It was confusing.
We still haven't figured out
Yeah.
what that building is.
So she stops in front of there, and Sarah comes out and is like, has like a uniform and is like, hey, like you don't have to worry about like thinking that you like messed everything up. Like you totally didn't. Like obviously you're going through like these struggles right now, but like I believe in you. You're going to somehow find a way to make this work, and you're going to be a success at this. Like you're going to do great. You don't necessarily need me to be at that level. You can totally do this on your own.
The funny thing about this is that when she walked up, I was like, "Why are you wearing that?" And then Leah's like, "Why are you wearing that?" And like
Because she's wearing her school uniform.
her school uniform, and like she graduated,
Mhm.
so very weird.
It's very
Um,
bizarre.
but then she's like, "By the way, we're gonna become cops."
For the police now. We get a Saint Snow performance of Believe Again.
Yeah, so what they decided to do is like a mini competition
Mhm.
between Saint Snow and Aqua here. And so Yo's cousin is like the producer of this and they're live streaming
Mhm.
it. And so we do get Believe Again, and it was a good performance. It was a really good performance when I actually could see it.
But yeah, like essentially the way Yo's cousin kind of like presents it is like, here is the Love Life finals if things would have went the way they should have.
Yeah.
Like this is what they would have been. And like that puts like the fire in Saint Snow, obviously, because they don't want to lose,
Right.
and they give a baller performance, and then
It's super great.
Aqua has to follow it up.
Mm-hmm.
They perform Brightest Melody,
Mm-hmm.
and they're on a rooftop
Yeah, some random roof.
because just as you do.
As you do, random building, random roof. And their outfits are super cute, and Ruby's got the little buns, and I love it.
It's
I
very
love
good.
Ruby.
I think it also they perform one of like the songs from like the last Blu-ray, Kisake Hikaru. At least that's what's on this wiki page. I don't
I
remember.
don't know. It wasn't performed.
Or it might have just been background music.
It was during like one of the school scenes
So it might have just been like insert music. That's fine.
because
Yeah.
I was really confused because I was like, wasn't that something to do with like "Thank You, Friends"? And like I had that conversation with you.
So that happens, and then finally we get to the big performance,
The big performance
which apparently
where
is
the
happening
third
like
years become ghosts.
it's happening in the middle of like of Numazu, or like the town where the new school's at. Like it's a big event. Like, people are getting ushered in. Like, everyone's there. All the parents are there. So we get to see, like, all of the characters' parents. Chica's dad shows up again. He has, like, you see his back. He's a fully fledged human.
He is. You don't just see his hands this time.
He is, like, the fourth male character you see in this film. Big shock.
Wonder if Rico's dog is a girl too.
I don't know.
She got a pug, by the way. Character development, guys.
Well, she had that pug at the end of the series too.
Still, character development, guys.
There's a lot of good scenes with her pug and Shiitake and Shiitake's pups.
It's so cute. They're like hanging off Shiitake once, like biting on the ears. It's so cute. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, we get the big performance. Everyone's there. All the new students are there together, and we get the final song performance, group performance of Next Sparkling, which was not the song I was anticipating it being.
No, same. And I'm still kind of upset about that. But they're like, here's the 6 members. This is what the new Aqua is. We can do this, and but then, like I said, the third years show up as ghosts. So
they are ghosts. I guess it makes more sense now why the 5th Live is Next Sparkling.
Yeah.
And then that essentially is how the film ends. We get some interspliced stuff of during the credits of Leah out there canvassing for the new school idol group, and kind of having some issues, but it's not necessarily stopping and still going hard because she's gonna do it. Dang it.
One of the things that I really liked about this movie.
Well, we still have one more scene to talk about.
Well, it's a quick thing.
Okay.
It's not even like a general thought, really. It's just that, like, we got lots of different hairstyles and outfits in this one, and I really like that.
There's a lot.
We do have a lot of other, or we have one more scene that's important, though.
I'm hoping there's a lot of good merch from some of those outfits that we haven't seen yet. Because a lot of them are just like the Italy outfits, but there's a lot of other stuff to come through. A lot of Zura glasses.
Really good stuff.
But there is a post-credits teaser of it's basically kind of like just the beach, and you hear some characters talking about the performance that just happened and basically wanting to become school idols when they get into high school. The only thing I guess I don't necessarily know. I would assume this isn't the case, but I would have thought it would have been interesting if the characters that were talking there were the new girls. And that was the segue to them becoming the next thing.
That's what I thought.
I don't think it's them, though. I think it's just random characters.
Oh, that's weird.
But that hasn't been confirmed one way or the other. I feel like if that was the case, we would know about it. Like, we would know, like, oh, it's the new girls were in this final scene of the movie. Like, they would have been credited by now.
Yeah.
I saw one person say, like, they thought it was one of the girls, but, like, obviously there isn't anything confirmed one way or the other about that. But I would imagine it's probably not the case. It's probably just random characters who saw the performance now or wanted to be school idols.
Lame. We also have the dramatic return of Baby Diabangs.
Baby Diabangs.
Baby Diabangs are back.
Which I think that happens when they're on the beach and like you just see a bunch of like shots of their beach, or not their beach selves, their kid selves again. So you get to see all like those versions from like the Happy Party Train PV. It's really good. Good Baby Diabangs.
Good Baby Diabangs. But legit, like, Ruby was like MVP of this entire movie. She kicked so much butt and was like so confident in herself and like ready to take charge of things, and like very much not Ruby. And like especially first season Ruby.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like Ruby has come a long way and she is confident Ruby now. Even if she still does Biggie. Hearing you try to Biggie is so funny.
You want to hear about some trivia before we give our final thoughts on the film?
Yeah.
Hey, this is the second motion feature in the Love Life franchise.
Oh wow, trivia.
Several of the locations in this movie are based on real life locations. The place where
Yes.
Aqua danced in the PV teaser is the Piazza di Spagna, one of the most famous squares in Rome. The decrepit school that the second and first years transferred to is based on a storage facility building located in Numazu. This film marks the first full appearance of Mari's mom. The film features a different origin for Riko. In the manga, she is first transferred to Uranohoshi High School for the first time as her father went to work here. In this film, a younger Riko made an appearance during Chika and Yo's childhood flashback. The camera that Yo's cousin wields is able to film in 8K resolution, which is similar to the FDR-AX45 professional camcorder manufactured by Sony.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
The what? No.
You said
No.
FDR.
No. No. The rhododendron flower shown in the Hop Stop Nonstop segment is used as gifts for Mother's Day in Italian countries in real life. In that case, Mari is sitting beside the flowers while singing to represent her actual feelings to her mother, complete with the petals flying forward, solidifying the fact that Mari thanked her mother for her great care. It's a lot of inference there in this trivia.
That is a lot of inference. I know.
Official bio inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
Mari's official character introduction in the Love Life Sunshine fan books, the TV anime official book first season, and her flashback in Finding a Way to Shine reveals that her mother is Japanese, but the said character in her full appearance in this movie has blonde hair instead of brunette and speaks in a heavy foreign accent, implying that she is a mixed blood like her daughter.
Yeah, and that was an issue that I had because, like, again, her last name is very much not a Japanese last name. And you would think that that would have come from her dad.
And I think her dad's been the one that's been implied who's like the one who has like the
The
Italian
Italian
blood in him.
Yeah,
So-
so like it's kind of odd. Maybe
I mean,
I don't
when
know.
they were first initially doing like the TV series, they probably didn't imagine like, oh, we're going to use Mari's parents as a plot point for the movie
right.
when they inserted them into like that one scene. So I was like,
That's true.
they did show that scene again, and I was expecting them to redo it, like have a recut of it where it was like it would actually have like Mari's mom and her dad in there, but they never actually like went that far to show it.
Nope.
Some continuity notes.
Okay.
A younger Chika and Yo made their reappearance after I Want to Shine. Likewise, a younger Riko also appears since Catch the Transfer Student. Aqua begins to sing Bokura no Hishitakita Michi wa after Wonderful Stories in the second season's last episode.
So I was right. They're like, all right, let's do
Yeah.
another song.
The shop that Aqua passed by, along with the same cat that the owner holds, is previously seen in Awaken the Power.
Nice.
The second years and the first years are now transferred to a new school since the school's closure, obviously. Mari took a trip to Italy since the reveal of her plan in Finding a Way to Shine. Mari's mother reappears in full since her daughter's flashback in Finding a Way to Shine. Chika refers to Daya with a chan suffix since Don't Call Me Daya-san.
Whoa.
Character development.
Character development.
Mari's mother does a similar low-flying ability on her helicopter as a callback to her daughter's in First Step.
Yep.
Yoshiko points out Hanamaru's metabolism since the latter is seen eating a large amount of food in the anime's 2 seasons. During the nighttime sequences in Toso Meso Mobius Loop, the three girls' headbands are shaped after constellations: Ursa Major Daya, Polaris Kanon, and Cassiopeia Mari. The third's headband is also a callback to younger Mari's stargazing chart and Finding a Way to Shine. As the Cassiopeia, it can be seen in the chart.
Oh.
Mari's mother pointed out that her daughter's goal of being a school idol as pointless in spite of her approval, which implies that she knew her daughter and her two friends previously lost to Love Live and Young Dreamer. So maybe that's the reason why her mom doesn't like it,
Oh, that makes sense.
because of everything that went down from there. And she
Yeah.
doesn't have a good opinion of Daya and Kanon.
Right. That would make a lot of sense because Mari struggled a lot after they failed and like she felt like her friends abandoned her.
And she probably isn't that aware of them getting back together and everything. Or maybe
That
thinks like
makes-
she doesn't feel like it's actually real.
So maybe her mom isn't like as bad of a mom as she came across. Maybe she was just really, really upset because she felt like her daughter got hurt.
True, but also like arranged marriage is kind of a real thing to do.
That is a real thing to do.
Eat the rich.
It is things that like people do when they are wealthy, though.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich.
Also some stuff. Yo wears
Let Chica fight them.
Yes, let Chica fight her parents. Not her parents,
Anyway,
but Mari's parents.
Yo wears what?
Yo wears a pair of glasses since I my friend.
Yes.
Prelude reappears since Our Own Radiance. Chica's father finally appears in full body since his partial appearance in Finding a Way to Shine and Sea of Light, though his face is still obstructed.
Body.
Likewise, Yo's mother also reappears in Sea of Light. And there's apparently a continuity error. While the flashback in the beginning of the movie is considered as Chica and Yo's first meeting with Rico, none of them actually remembered each other after Rico transfers to the school.
I can imagine that though, because I would have a hard time remembering somebody that long ago.
Especially if it was like that was a one-time occurrence.
Right, like a passing, like, yeah, have you tried this? Okay, cool, bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot more once like the film hits Blu-ray and everything, and more talks about it, more stuff, more. There's more to talk about it, but that's Love, Life, Sunshine, the School Idol movie, Over the Rainbow.
We watched it.
We watched it. So what do you think overall?
I mean, I think it had some weak points, but I enjoyed it and I laughed a lot and I was glad to get back with these characters. And I'm also really glad to see like how much growth there was with these girls. Like they are not the same characters we met up with in the first season. They're not even the same characters we met up with in the second season. Like they've grown a lot. And I know that it's weird to be proud of fictional characters, but I'm so proud of all of them. Like they're so good and they try so hard, and like seeing the conclusion of like the Saint Snow story was also really satisfying, and it also like hurt my heart to watch Leah struggle so much. Like I've definitely had those days where like you stay in bed with the covers over your head and just don't do anything. And I'm so proud of Ruby. Ruby did her Rubesti super hard in this. Did she even say that once?
I don't think so. I don't think I ever heard it.
I don't
either. It was just like one time.
Yeah, but like she really, really tried hard in this, and I appreciated that because that is not something she could have ever done before Aqua.
Yeah.
Also, the songs are good, except for I'm still disappointed that we didn't get another Saint Aqua Snow performance.
So weird. Ever since I heard that song, I was like, oh, that's the end song. That's the last song they perform.
Yeah, same. It makes sense.
And it wasn't. Also, like, it's not even in the film.
It's not even in the movie. And it was very disappointing because it was like, I love this song and I love when we get those dual performances, but
it's going to be rad when you see it live.
Yes. I'm just wondering, like, are they going to have Saint Snow in their cop outfits while everybody else is in their other outfits?
I swear I've seen images of that. Of them all together.
And they're in the cop outfits?
They're in the cop outfits, and I think Aqua was in the Brightest Melody outfits.
Wow.
I swear I've seen that.
That's funny.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think there are some weak parts to this film, but I think that kind of can be attributed to, like, it's a film. You have to cram a lot of stuff into it. Like, it's not going to have the same kind of long-term storytelling that the series had.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like there is a lot of good to be had from this, where like you
there is a lot of good.
You get to see growth from the first years in an immense amount of ways. I really like.
Joanna has fans.
She does. I like the idea of like, here are these champions coming back. How do they get back to the same mountain? Like, what do you do to essentially retain your title? Like, I really like that kind of story, and I'm glad like they kind of push that in this. Further proof that Love Live is a sports anime.
Yeah. I also really like the whole narrative that they built up of like, we were 0 to 1, and then Chica's like, we're not necessarily starting from 0 again. We have these memories, we have everything built up. Like, I keep thinking we're starting over, but we're not. We're building upon. And I'm like,
it's really like smart.
That.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Especially considering how much like the 0 to 1 was the key thematic element throughout the entire TV series, and now it's like you're starting from 1 now.
Yeah.
Or whatever number you want to pick. I also like how the paper airplane was that the 0 vote paper, which is really good. I don't necessarily think that you have to come back to this story anymore. Like, I would be interested to see, like, okay, let's do it a year later and see what did the first years do with a new Aqua. Like that would be interesting, and also seeing like Leah's group, whatever that comes out to be. I almost kind of thought it would have been more interesting that if Chica's conclusion would have been, hey, we're not Aqua anymore, we're just a different group.
Yeah.
Because I thought that would have made more sense.
For me too.
Yeah. Like Aqua is the 9 of us, the 6 of us are something different.
Yeah.
I almost kind of thought it was that. I'm glad it didn't go the way of the first Love Live movie where it ends, spoilers, with Muse disbanding.
Oh. Ugh.
So I'm glad it didn't go that route.
Yeah, that would have been very upsetting for me.
But I like what they do with this, and I think like it further proves that like, you know, Sunshine isn't a copycat of the first series. Like it does its own thing, clearly, with the way this film wraps up. Yeah, like I like I said, I don't think they're gonna do anything else with. I think this is the end of the Love Live Sunshine story.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see like something like an OVA or something of just like, here's what's happened 6 months after the movie. How is Aqua doing? How is Leah's group doing? What are the third years doing? And like that be like kind of like the super epilogue of the entire story. But like for what we get, like I'm glad it didn't like necessarily like ruin the series or anything like that. Like it's a good bookend to this entire story, and it's not necessarily the best thing they've produced. Like it may be, if you would rank it, maybe at the bottom.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is.
But that doesn't make it bad.
It doesn't
though.
make it bad. It's a good post thing. It's a good epilogue. It's a good cap on a wonderful story.
And it was really fun.
Yeah, like there's enough like good fan service throughout it to where like, oh, look, this is this callback. This is this callback. Look at this good goof that these characters are doing with each other. Like there's a lot of fun to be had throughout.
Yeah,
this
we
film.
laughed a lot. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I am disappointed now that I know that it wasn't the new girls that were talking at the end, because that would have been a really good segue.
It would have been real, but like we said, like we don't know if they're gonna do anything like anime wise with them, or if they will be relegated to being the School Idol Festival, School Idol All Stars exclusive group.
Yeah,
like obviously they've been doing like more, like they've had a couple performances now. They've been doing like they've been getting their name out there. But there's never been any signs of like, hey, we're gonna do an anime with them or whatnot. So like like we talked about, like I think it would have been cool, like a good little Easter egg if that was the characters in there and they were at the end talking about that, and like that was like their origin was, hey, we saw Aqua and we wanted to go do this, kind of similar to how Chica saw Muse and was like, I want to do this.
And I mean, even if they weren't planning to do like an anime, it would have been a cool thing to like call back, since they are obviously like related to the franchise now.
And they've been integrated in School Idol Festival for like a year now. People, if you're going to see this movie, you would know who they were.
Right. It would have made sense, and it would have been like a neat little like nod to them. Because it's not like they just like, even if they don't do an anime, they still exist.
Yeah.
And so choo-choo. So it would have been really, really cool. But so that's a bummer. But legit, one of my favorite things, and I know I mentioned this before, is there are so many new like outfits and hairstyles, and that's so exciting. And like Zuramaru got several pairs of glasses.
She did.
It was great. And also like they let her wear glasses, which is great. Like
multiple times.
It's really exciting. It was fun. They had like cute ponytails at certain points, and like the low ponytails. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we watched this.
Yeah.
My head hurts.
Your head hurts, yeah. Love Live Sunshine, still a masterpiece. This has not ruined that for me.
No, still a masterpiece.
But yeah, that will do it for this episode. If you're interested in owning this or getting a better way to watch this film, the Blu-ray comes out July 26th. Obviously, that's the Japanese release date. You can of course import it. I believe it does have English subtitles on the Blu-ray, so it's not like it's going to be a terrible thing like that. Like they are actually really good about being import friendly for their releases. Like the home releases of all like the anime had English subtitles on them. for the
Yeah,
Japanese
and
releases.
it says that it has them on there. Because we looked through
Yeah.
the description. I have pre-ordered
Mm.
it.
And they're good with like giving you like a bunch of bonus stuff as well.
Yes.
So if you're interested, that is a good way to do it because there is no information about distribution of it in North America. Let's just say
No.
there was
Nope.
a comment about, hey, we may put it in theaters, and then never was a follow up on it. And you would assume Funimation has the rights to it, so who the heck knows when that would come out, like actually in like a U.S. release. So
Who
maybe be a little
knows?
bit import friendly for that. But yeah, that's going to wrap this episode up of Season Anime Checkup OVA. Jared Now Watch Love Live Sunshine, the season finale of Jared Now Watch Love Live Sunshine. So if you'd like more from us, go to seasonanimecheckup.com or sac.cool is where you can find past episodes of both of these podcasts, Season Anime Checkup OVA or Jared Now Watch, and you can also find the Season Anime Checkup on the site as well, and columns and reviews. If you want more from Anne Ladyem, go to AnneLadyem.com. She's got columns and reviews, and you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. And if you're listening to this on the SAC OVA podcast feed, you can support us on there, or support that podcast by going to patreon.com/SACOVA. Next week, I think we're going to watch another movie.
Yeah, I think so. I've sort of become like entrenched in that series too, but this one is hilarious to see like the Owl character development
It
of like
is.
how I've become like super involved in Love Live Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
This is my life now.
It is.
Hmm.
Do your bestie.
Always.